hey, we should just sprint and we shouldn't condition, or, we just need to grind these dudes and we need to just do military training. And, well, they're not Navy SEALs either. And I think the art of coaching is striking a balance between, we need to improve these guys physically. That's our job. We need to get them stronger. We need to get them bigger. We need to get them faster. But I think that's the rational side of strength and conditioning. And that's a very important side of it. It's an important piece. And there's also a psychological and emotional part of team sports. And I think it's equally as important to have guys voluntarily confront things that are hard and understand that they can push themselves past what they thought they could, whether that's conditioning, whether that's just discipline and doing the right thing in all aspects of your life. I think those are both really, really important. And so when I kind of look at how do I describe my philosophy, it's a new school, progressive approach to training with an old school mentality. And there's going to be some days during the week where we're going to do some really high quality work. Acceleration days and max velocity days, and even some change of direction days. We got to keep the quality really, really high. We got to drive performance. We have to raise the ceiling of their capability. And that takes rest periods. That takes a fine-tuned technique to things. That takes a ton of coaching. And then there's other times where we got to go out there and we got to get after it. And we got to do hard things. And there's still got to be a reason for doing it. But we have to push these guys past what they thought they were capable of doing. And when they can learn to not have preconceived notions of what this is going to be, and they understand this is going to be hard, good, I'm going to grow from this, and they embrace it, and it's not a survival mindset, it's a thrive mindset. Right. That's where the resiliency and, I believe, mental toughness comes in, and physical toughness. And I think they're both really, really important. So if I look at a weekly schedule, and I'll take summer, for example, Mondays and Thursdays, those are really high quality days. We're going to try to drive performance metrics. We're going to try to get these guys better in a certain way. Tuesdays and Fridays, those are get after it days. And we do what's called cowboy shuttles on Fridays. And that's kind of a blend of all aspects of what I'm talking about right now. So it's essentially different combinations of shuttles with a little bit of repeat sprint sprinkled into it. The whole team's out there, and I will give them, let's say, a 60-yard shuttle, 5 back, 10 back, 15 back. I'll give them different combinations. So the first rep might be 5 back, 10 back, 15 back. The second rep might be 10 back, 5 back, 15 back. And then I also give them either a direction to face or a foot to touch with. And so they have to execute as a team. Everybody's got to do it right, but we're also accumulating some good mechanical load. Depending on the distance of that final run, we're also accumulating some zone 4 yardage. But there's also an accountability standpoint where you have to do your job for the guy next to you. And we as a team have to do it all correctly, because that's football. It's 11 guys doing their job to the best of their ability for the guy next to them. And then what we'll do towards the end of summer is I'll crank the music in the stadium, and they'll have to do everything with hand signals, and it's crowd noise. And so, that to me, that's really, really important. We don't need to be military leaders and train them like Navy SEALs, but we certainly can't walk around with white lab coats on either. It's got to be a good blend of, yes, we have to get these guys better, and there's certain metrics that need to be improved. But we also need to put these guys through smartly programmed things that are difficult for them physically, difficult for them mentally, and put them in positions where they need to give their best effort, execute well for the guy next to them, or there is a consequence. That's a flag. We tell our old linemen all the time, like, you get a holding call, like, who does that affect? It affects everybody. Yeah. It affects the
drive killer.
It's drive killer. So in such a polarized time of strength and conditioning, with those two things, I think a blend of both is really, really needed to be able to drive performance and also create mental toughness, create robust athletes. And both of those things are critical, in my opinion.